All right, so I think we're all set to begin. We're live on Facebook. So if you guys joining me live, type live in the comments. If you're watching this on a replay, just type in replay in the comments. But I have a very special guest, one of my clients that I worked with, I think mid-August. We worked together. She joined my program. And she had a huge, like she had an amazing transformation, right? So I was excited to hop on here and just have her share her story and share some of her experiences while with my program and also just with her journey. So and not only that, just so you guys know, she was able to maintain a level of success throughout Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the New Year. So definitely want to share some insight from her. But just so welcome. One thing I want to ask, I want to start off with, like, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you live, family, that kind of stuff, so we can know, your little bit of background.
Yeah, so my name is Giselle, and I was born and raised in Belize, but now I live in Las Vegas, and I work for Amazon. So that's what I'm doing here in Vegas. Family is in Belize and some out here, but yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, and I know when you said, I know you work for the warehouse, right? But
yes,
you work overnight.
Yes,
that was also
I do. Yeah, I do night shift. A lot of physical work, 10 to 11 hours a night.
Damn, so you do put a lot of work in. It's a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's also nighttime. It's like, it's on for most people, it's just weird to be able to work that many hours in the nighttime. But you've been able to still do that, and you had a phenomenal transformation, which a lot of people complain about their hours that they work and the times that they do it. So you're gonna share more on that. So tell me, I guess, where were you before joining my program? Like, tell me some of the things you've tried. What did you do before? Like, what was like a struggle when it came to like your weight loss?
Well, one of the things I was doing was keto dieting. I also went to my family doctor because she's also a dietitian, and she had me on these medication called phentermine and topiramate. And what those medication does was that they suppress your energy. I mean, your hunger, and in turn help you lose weight because you're not eating that much. But the effects to that is that once you fall short of that, you gain back the weight pretty fast. So it wasn't really consistent. And so I tried that for maybe like a year and a half. Also incorporating keto by cutting out carbs, which is my biggest, it wasn't really the carbs, but more like sweets. And so that, and 1 minute you're consistent, next minute you fall short. So that's what I was doing prior to starting the program.
Okay, so you had the doctor, you also the keto. I know a lot of people tried keto before, right? So if you guys are watching this, if you tried keto, type keto in the comments, because a lot of people tried keto because it was a huge craze like maybe 5 years ago. I think 5 years ago was like when it really got super popular, and a lot of people tried it. So, like, tell me a little more about that. Like, what was that experience? It's a little more like, was it awful? What was it like?
It was hard. It is hard because you don't realize how much carbs play into our diet. And when you're doing keto, you cut out carbs completely. It's a total different set of foods, and it doesn't taste right. It doesn't give you that taste. So that was a struggle because you just didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I can't say I've tried it. I was tempted. I wanted to. So I wanted to. There's a part of me that at least want to try everything before I completely judge any kind of thing or make any. But I just want to have my own experience on it. And keto is something that I looked at, and I just couldn't do it. Like, I wanted to try. I wanted to see what it really was, and I just couldn't because it went against a lot of the things that I just instinctively I feel was good for me, like fruits and vegetables. Like, you're extremely limited with fruits.
Yes.
You can't have fruits pretty much at all, right? It has to be very small. Like, you're limited depending on your, it changes with your body, but you shouldn't have at least more than 20 grams, or like of carbs for the day. And that might be
Yeah.
too high. I think it's like 5, depending on who you are.
Yeah.
5 grams of
And
carbs.
and then I noticed, like, for men on keto, they lose weight faster than women on keto. So it wasn't really as effective for me as I wanted to be, as I saw my husband losing with it. So that's why it was a struggle, you know. So and then the fact of also putting that dieting and then getting that mindset to go to the gym was another challenge.
Got it. So keto was pretty much a bad experience. And like, how long did you like do it for?
Off and on for about a year.
About a year. And what kind of results?
Yeah. Not good, because I'll probably drop like a couple pounds here and there, and then I'll gain it back when I start binge eating again.
So it was just for a whole year, just yo-yoing.
Yes, precisely. Yeah. Yes.
Which, you know, that in itself is just kind of unhealthy. But, you know, I'm glad you moved on from there, right? So you did that for about a year, and then, you know, of course, you know, you reached out to me afterwards. So what made you like reach out to me to find out about my coaching program and how I can help you?
So I thought that I needed discipline, because when you put your mindset to lose weight, you sometimes go off track. So I needed discipline. I needed to have somebody in my ear grinding me, telling me that this is what I need to do. I needed to have a schedule. I needed to start something and finish it. And a lot had to do with the willpower of wanting to change your life. You look at yourself in that mirror every day and you tell yourself, oh my gosh, I'm just getting worse and worse because I'm not disciplined enough to get into that mindset. And so you ask yourself, when enough is enough, you know, that you keep putting it aside, you know, for health reasons, you know, for your insecurities. And so I needed that. And then it's like one day I was scrolling through Facebook and I just saw you made a post. And I'm like, well, it's now or never. So you got to get in and sign up right away. And so that's what made me do it. And when you're in, because it's one thing, you know, putting in finance into it, but it's also, you know, you have to, the time you have to put in to say, okay, you're going to do this.
Got it. And do you remember what was I talking about in the post that made you say, you know what, I need this?
Yeah, you were talking about if you want to change your life, you want to get fit, you want that motivation. Pretty much in a nutshell, that's what you were talking about your program, your 12-week program. And if you wanted to know more about it, you know, comment. And I was curious because I think 12 weeks was a very good length of time to get you in that notion of moving into changing your lifestyle.
Got it. Okay. So now you're in the program, right? Like, what was it restrictive? Was it hard? Was it like, tell us your experience when it came to that? Because a big part of the program is to be the opposite of like keto, right? I don't want you guys to have to like remove anything from your diet. I want you guys to still enjoy the process, still enjoy food, you know, and of course, doing a way that matches here, you know, helps you get towards the goal. So tell us a little bit about that experience.
So the first thing was the meal plan. The hardest thing when you're dieting is you're Googling, you're looking into different stuff to eat, and you hear all these different mixed reviews of different products and stuff. And you don't realize how simple it is, you know? So with having somebody creating a meal plan for you and you use it as a guide to follow, it's so much easier. It makes shopping much more easier because you already know what you're looking for when you're going to the store, and then you meal prep. So that was one of the greatest asset in that as a guide, especially when you're looking at different food like meats and stuff, and you're like, oh, I'm not particular for this kind of fish, but I can substitute it with this, you know? So that was good. In terms of the workout, 5 days a week, you know, that was that was something, you know, because you're telling yourself you used to 1 or 2 days, but 5 days consistent, you know, that was good. And every day a different workout. And then I think it was like 3 days a week we did like abs, 3 or 4 days. So you have all these times and you 30 seconds for this, 30 seconds for that. So it kept you on a good, schedule, because you know what to do.
Mhm.
And once you finish that workout, you did burn calories, and you did burn, fat. So at first it was hard because some of the workouts were a little bit difficult. And as you lose the weight and you get more fit, it becomes easier.
Mm.
But I want to say for the first month, and being at the weight I was, um, some of the workouts were a bit challenging, but towards the end, I was able to get in more than where I started at.
Mm. Like one exercise, if you recall, was like completely hard in the beginning, that in the end, it was just like easy.
Um, hmm. I think it was the one with the dumbbell, uh with your feet on the squat with a dumbbell,
A
where
dumbbell
your feet
squat,
is
something like that.
elevated. Yeah, that.
Okay,
It was
the
pretty.
lunge, dumbbell lunge.
Yeah, the lunge.
Hmm.
Yeah, those lunges. Oh, those were, yeah, those were those were a little bit difficult, but I was able to, get better with the weeks with them.
Got it. Okay. And tell us a little about that, the results that you got. So we started mid-August and it
Mhm.
ended in November. Like
November.
how much weight did you lose? How did you feel? Like what was those biggest changes you noticed?
Okay. I think when I started, I was at 200.
205?
No, like 210, wasn't it?
210. Okay.
Yeah, it was like 210. And when I ended the program, I was at 179.
179. So you lost a lot of
Yes.
weight.
Yes.
That's like 30 plus, like I said, 30 pounds.
30 pounds.
That's a lot of weight to lose in 12 weeks. Like, did you
Yeah. And
expect to have
I
that
mean,
change?
when you put your mind to it, it could happen. And
Hmm.
also I had that motivation because I was in that challenge.
Oh, yes.
So, so I was trying to win that trip to Mexico.
Mhm. Yeah,
you know,
and so you didn't win, but you did place really
11,
high in it. So you can be
11. Yeah.
11 out of
Yeah.
hundreds of people.
Yeah. 11.
11 out of hundreds. And you didn't get any prize. You got a massage gun, right?
Yes.
So,
We got a massage gun.
and those massage guns, they're expensive. So that's a good gift either way.
Yeah,
And
I got it.
and also more so it's like, your health, everything was better, your fitness. So it was that
Yeah.
motivation
Um,
there too.
yeah. I was able to get my energy up a little bit. So I could say, because of my job, usually like mid shift, I'm already exhausted, my feet hurts. But not even now, but even in the program, um, with all that, I always look forward to working out. Once I finish that 11-hour shift, I can go home and still put in my workout. And I wasn't tired at all. I had the energy to do it. That, sometimes they told me I was crazy after working, running up and down, but I just had the adrenaline, I just like it's now, because once I fall asleep, it's not going to happen before I go to work. So
Mhm.
might as well get it done. And I had that,
Yeah.
as far as dieting, I don't like to say dieting. I like to say lifestyle change, because now that I've had that meal plan, I know what I can eat, how much to eat, what to eat. And so it's now my way of life, that's what I follow. So with that,
Yeah.
um, everything just it everything changed, because you have all this energy and you're fit. You just want to do more to get to your goal.
Hmm.
So that 12 weeks, it was like really a good start to a new journey.
And you even went on, right? So my program ended in November. You lost like 30 pounds and you're not at 179. So you ended at 179, but you continue
Yeah.
losing weight even afterwards because you followed
Yes.
principles in the program.
Yes, because now I'm weighing as of today at 165.
165.
Yeah. Yeah. And and to tell people out there, it's not like every week I lose, because for a long time I would just sit at one weight, and that's when you like start switching stuff up. But but yes, the program definitely gave me the tools that I needed to
Mhm.
keep pushing, to keep doing it, you know?
And like you mentioned, the energy, the transformation and changes, it's like people, like once you have your nutrition, like that's one of the first things to focus on is nutrition.
Mm,
And that's why I talk a lot about the nutrition, because once you have the right diet, once you change your diet, you will have immediately more a boost in energy, right? So because of that, you'll be able to work more, perform better. Once you start
yes.
with nutrition, and then once you start doing little exercises, you start growing stronger, getting that endurance. And then of
Yeah.
all things, the mindset, like that change that happened in mindset. Like, I know a lot of you guys may have heard um 80% nutrition, 20% mindset. I mean, 20% workout, but it's 100% mindset. You have to be able to want to make the shift, have that desire first, and be open to the changes that your body that you need to make mentally. Because once you don't
Yeah.
have your mindset for that, like no, the best workout plan, the best nutrition plan won't get you there. But you
Yeah.
already mentally, you were there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know with the little accountability, you were part of the challenge as well. All those things just give extra boost to help you even further.
Yes.
So now, and like you mentioned, like your journey wasn't like straight linear, ups and downs, right? But overall, you lost a lot of weight.
Mhm.
So tell us, like, what were some challenges? You know, just to share some transparency to show people that even though you lost, I guess, over like that was over 40 pounds in total in the past since August to now. What were some challenges? You know, what were some things you faced?
Some of the challenges I faced, because even though, like I spoke about, me being in that mindset, there are times when, especially in the holidays, where like I would like eat stuff that I haven't normally eat in months.
Mhm.
And sometimes I find myself, for the most part, I can say no, but sometimes I can't say no. And so I want to get to a point whereby I can say no completely. That's another challenge. I had family visiting from Belize, so I got all the good, nice foods,
Mhm.
make, and I could have said no to that. Um, but another thing too, like there are times when mentally you just don't want to go into the gym, you just don't want to do it. And like I find myself like a week not going, and you have to bounce yourself back. It's a mental game. I'll tell you that much. It's a mental game, because you could do every single thing, but like you said, it's mindset. And I can't stress that enough, because that's one of my biggest challenges. I get too comfortable. I get
Mhm.
comfortable with my weight loss, that, oh, I lost it, I don't need to go to the gym this week. And then you fall short, because then you're like, okay, I could do this without the gym, and then you go back into bad practices.
Mhm.
So um there were times when I wouldn't go to the gym for 2 weeks straight,
Mhm.
because I was so comfortable. I get a new outfit, I look good, I'm like, yeah, gym wear. And then you're like eating, and then you look at yourself and like, wait, the scale haven't moved in a couple weeks, why you think? you know so that's my struggle to I'm already consistent. Don't get me wrong, I'm already consistent, but I want to be 100% focused and consistent,
Mhm.
that even if I don't do 5 days a week, I can at least do three, and say that I was in there putting in the work.
Mhm.
But to not go not one day out of the week, yeah, that's a no.
Yeah. Like done is
So
better than perfect. And even
yes.
with people starting their journey, because a lot of times I'll hear people say, oh, I don't want to, I'll have to wait because I can't work out 5, 6 times a week, or I can't eat healthy 5, 6 times a week. It's like, hey, start now and just improve later on. Because if you keep on waiting for it to be perfect, you're probably gonna be waiting for the rest of your life. Right.
Yeah.
So
And then sorry to cut you off, but yeah, I work in a warehouse where especially in this pandemic, so I have a lot of people around me. And then when I go to the gym, it's like crowded. And so it's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. So what I did was I made a space in my home, and I bought me my dumbbells, my kettlebells, all my weights
got
and
it
stuff.
done.
Yeah. So that if I don't go into the gym, I can come home and do 30 minutes of workout. It's something to do rather than nothing. Because once you get too comfortable, it's game over. You have to
Yep.
get yourself back into that notion. And
Mhm.
most people don't get back,
Yep.
especially for years. So if you start something, you might want to finish it. I have to take that own advice, because when I don't finish something, you always go back to square one. And yeah,
Mhm.
you find yourself not being successful at all.
Yeah. And huge shout out to you, because I remember um just seeing, like, getting waking up in the morning, seeing notifications getting checked off at like 3 a.m. in the morning or like 4 a.m. in the morning, because you're in Vegas. So time zone is like you're up, like you're doing the night shifts and you're going straight into the gym.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even up yet. Right. So
Yeah.
that was just for you, that mindset, like, I need to get this done. You have the momentum, you created that momentum, and just continue it. And even though you around Christmas time or whatever holidays when your family came over, you like fell off a little bit, but that still you're moving forward. A lot of times
Yeah.
people get stuck right in that. It's like, they let that week go by, and then it turns into a month, turns into a couple months. But you got right back on track. And you went on to lose a conditional 15 pounds on your own, right? Continuing
Yeah.
principles that was taught. So I want to ask, like, and this, I think I asked you this on our first call, right? But now it's like hindsight. One thing I like to ask is, how would your life change if you were to get to your goal, if it's not losing significant amount of weight, but now that you already have lost that, like, how has your life changed now that you've lost that much weight, stronger, all that stuff?
All right. So my life has changed a lot, because when I was bigger, I want to say bigger, you
When you were
don't have
210?
yeah, you don't have the motivation to get up and do anything physical. I live on the third floor. Let me put that there. And walking up the third floor, by the time I get to the second flight of stairs, I feel like I'm about to pass out. That was how I was. Life change wise, simple things. Walking up my 3 flights of stairs without breaking a sweat. Let's start there. 2,
Mhm.
running without even, like I want to pass out, uh non-scale victories, able to cross my legs, I'm able to cross my legs.
Mhm.
And another non-scale victory that I'm excited to share, because when I'm traveling this week, is sitting in an airplane with a seat belt without an extender.
Yes.
So so I can't wait to take that.
Mhm.
Um, and also with this burst of energy, and with being fit to where I'm at right now, I'm able to do hikes and ride bikes and do stuff more to get physical. So
Mhm.
that's a really good place I'm at, because I've always wanted to do those, but I couldn't do it, because I didn't say I couldn't, but like it was harder then than it is now.
Mhm.
So that's how my life has changed.
Mhm.
Is those little things, that I'm excited for.
So
I'm
the
not at my
experiences
goal
are
yet,
way
but
better now.
yeah,
So just having way better experiences doing different stuff, like more
yeah,
activities outdoors that you couldn't do before. Little things like, not having to use the extender belt in the airplanes. And just because I have you in Facebook, like I see a lot more of your posts. It just, like, you're also an inspiration to other people. Right. So I feel like a lot of people are looking up to you like, oh wow, she did such an amazing job. So that's something I've been noticing. Like even
yeah,
your pictures that you post, it's like you're glowing more.
yeah. I'm
So
trying. I'm trying, and I'm 25 pounds away from my goal that I said my goal.
mhm.
And that's my goal for the next 2 to 3 months to get to that goal. And then when I get there is to maintain that goal and not go up. Probably I'll go lower, but not so much, but to maintain that for the rest of my life.
Yeah. So that would put you at what, 140,
140.
140. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, what's one piece of advice that you would just give to anyone who's listening when it comes to, things you've learned on your journey?
Um, yeah. So uh everything that we do, you want to make sure that you're ready for it. Sometimes we tell ourselves that we are ready, but we're not in the right mindset. Whatever we are facing in our lives or whatever. But if you want to go this journey, make sure that it's something that you want, and that you're able to commit to that. Um, that's one of what I've seen with other people and myself, it's that willpower.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as hard as we think it is. Once you make that part of your life and part of your schedule, everything just falls, because everything falls into place. Don't make up excuses to convince yourself
Mm-hmm.
that it won't work, because that's right there setting yourself up for failure. Tell yourself that you can do it, make the time for it, because if you don't make that push, you're never going to move forward. And so at the end of the day, you have to want it.
Yeah.
You have to. I know many people look at themselves in the mirror and they feel insecure about themselves, but they wouldn't take the initiative to do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to feel insecure about myself. I don't want to have low self-esteem about myself, because it's mentally, it's exhausting. So what do I want to do about it? I want to change that. I want to change how I feel about myself. I want to change how I look at myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it starts with you.
Yeah. And it's as simple as making a decision and sticking to it. I tell people all the time, like, and you said it, it's the steps is pretty simple, right? Because you had the plan I created for you was simple and straightforward. It wasn't anything that was super, it's not rocket science, right? But you start with a decision to be committed to the process.
Yes, and everything that I couldn't have done, you worked with me. You gave me an alternative. You're like, okay, if this doesn't work for you, try this. Um, there were times in the program where like I hit a plateau,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, okay, let's do cardio, let's do stair climbing. So like I had to do either treadmill or stair climbing on top of the abs workout and the other 30-minute workout. So it's not something that, oh my God, I look at it and I'm like, I can't do all of this, because that's what I did at first. I
Mm-hmm.
looked at the first week and I'm like, he crazy. He think I can do this.
A little
you
bit.
know, but once I was able to tell you, look, Brendan, I struggling with that, you were able to create an alternative that still worked. So well, you were always there to make sure that it worked. And so that's one of the good things about this program as well. So I'll tell anybody, to try that.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so what would you say to someone who's been on the fence about joining my program? Like, what would you say to them when it comes to like being on the fence?
Make that investment. It's worth it. I mean, we all have our struggles, we all have our finances or whatever, but just try it once and you'll see the difference 12 weeks can put you at in your life.
Yeah,
No.
it could be, the next story like you, right?
Yes, because to be honest with you, there were many other programs that was coming my way in the time, and I'm like, wait, no. I felt strong about this program, and I've seen your journey too. That's the thing. I've seen your journey and I've seen how you had other people, but it wasn't registering to me like, oh, I was going to be like that, but I took that risk. I wouldn't say it's a risk. I said, I took that opportunity,
Mm.
not knowing because knowing myself, knowing how I needed that discipline, knowing that I don't know if I was going to waste my time or money, but the minute I got into it, I was like, oh shit just got real, like,
Got real, like there's no turning back.
this is not a game.
It's not. I'm glad you shared that too, because it's like I really do feel like people have to throw their whole selves at things. That's have to be make that commitment, it's that decision. It's a simple decision, and anyone can do it. 12 weeks is more than enough time for you to build habits, build that mindset, have that transformation, both physically and mentally. And now it's going on like 5 months since you started. Our program ended like a month and a half ago, and you're still crushing it. So it's just been a whole life-changing experience for you. And I'm extremely happy for the changes you've made. I've seen your progress. I've seen everything that you've been doing. So I was extremely happy for you. And for you guys watching, if you want help if you want to join my coaching program, just go to iambrandonwagner.com. and hit the button below so you can apply. Probably type it in the comments for you guys. But yeah, just reach out to me or message me directly. And that way I can ask a couple of questions, see if you're a good fit. But it's just great to see how you've changed so much. So
yeah.
I enjoyed this talk. Appreciate it, appreciate you hopping on with me. And yeah, guys, keep on crushing it. Giselle, keep on crushing it as well.
Yeah.
For you guys live, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm probably gonna do one later on, but I'm gonna see y'all later.
All right. See you.